Hey, how you doing? I'm Tim Carter. This is Ask the Builder live. I hope you're here. And this is the second live stream I've done in 24 hours, so it's pretty exciting. And I want to thank you for joining today. Remember, you can chat to me in the window. I'll get to those questions as I can. And we're going to do just 30 minutes today. I don't want to burn people out. I don't want to burn myself out. But before going any farther, I want to thank today's sponsor. I'm sure if you subscribe to our newsletter, you know who it is. Stain Solver. So I know it's backwards. Isn't that horrible? So anyway, Stain Solver. It's a great oxygen bleach, certified organic, cleans anything that's water washable. And my favorite all time before and after pictures. And by the way, my wife and I own Stain Solver. It's not like I'm hawking it for some other company, some invisible company. It's ours. So anyway, go to the Stain Solver website and type this into the search engine: baseball cap. Like that cap that's right there, over my shoulder. The baseball cap that you might wear. There's millions of them. But wait until you see the before and after photos. I got to tell you the story. When Georgia sent me the photos, I opened up the before one first, and I look at it and I go, big deal. It's just a flipping brown hat. It wasn't a brown hat. All right. So anyway, you'll see it when you see the before and after photos. So Stain Solver, great, great, great product. Okay. By the way, that's one of my crutch words. It's really interesting when I watch myself do video and I record it and then I have to edit it. It's just stunning how many crutch words that I have, and people are guilty of it. You might have one. A favorite crutch word is called or So if you hear people that say a lot, it's because their mouth's going a little faster than their brain. So so the brain throws an in to catch up. I was taught that by Charlie Murdoch, by the way. Okay, let's get started. I told you that we were going to talk about this wonderful Klein LED rechargeable flashlight. So that means that you don't put regular batteries in it. It's just, and I know everything's backwards. I'm sorry about that. But this thing, so here it's bright as can be. So what's cool about this flashlight, let me turn it off, is that it's got this work light here on the side. So this, there's my finger. So it's got this light LED, but then of course at the end of it, just like a regular flashlight, it's got an LED and it's bright. I'm telling you. And then you charge it here. So I'm trying to hold that up. So right up there, it's the newer USB-C port. So that's the one that's so much handier. It doesn't have a top and a bottom. So it's about time somebody figured that out. And then this little hole up here, that's a charge indicator. So you'll see how that works. Whoops. So it's in my eyes, but so what happens is that's green when I see it. It's too washed out in the video screen, but that tells me when you first turn it on, that glows green for about, I don't know, 2-3 seconds, so that it's got a lot of battery charge. So as the battery starts to run down, it goes from green to yellow to red. So if you see red, it's like, you better start thinking about charging it up. It's got all different modes. It's got this wonderful magnet at the back, so it will stick. Let me show you. So here, watch this. So this is a piece of tin-coated steel for my Morse code key. So pretty amazing, So you can obviously put this on a piece of vertical steel and then, have this work light, just rotate it up or down to wherever you need the light. Or, if you want it to aim straight ahead. So a lot of nice features, really a great little flashlight. Can't say enough good things about it. It's Klein. It's the Klein 56412. I've got a column about it at my website. I've got a bunch of other photos. So just go to askthebuilder.com, type in Klein, Klein 56412. So I know if I hold this up, it's going to be backwards. Sorry about that. Nothing I can do about that. So anyway, really, really great little flashlight. Okay, Marcus, I see you've got a question there. I'm going to get to your question in just a little bit. So just hang tight there, Marcus. The one of the things I want to tell you is I there's that crutch word. See what happens when you don't know what you're going to say next? It's really funny. I am so lucky to have the subscribers to my newsletter that I do because I get all of this really wonderful feedback. Sometimes it's bad, where they catch me doing something I probably shouldn't do. Most of the time, it's good. And all of that feedback is helpful. I want your feedback, by the way, to try to make this live stream better. I'm going to start doing more of these, probably 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. And I can tell you that each day will have a certain theme. For example, one day might be a tool review or two, definitely questions and answers that you can ask me live or beforehand. And then I'm going to do one. I want to try this out. We'll see if you like it. I want to do, I don't know what to call it. It's just like going to vocational school or like a live university college about building and remodeling. So I'm going to talk about a topic for 20 or 30 minutes, and you'll be able to ask questions as we go, just like a regular lecture, if you remember back in your days or in high school and college. All right, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think we can have a lot of fun with this and do many, many things. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to investigate and purchase the correct software to really do the live stream right. And what I mean by that is I want to be able to do this live stream much like you might do a Zoom call where I can do screen sharing, where I can talk about something and immediately show you a photo of what I'm talking about or play a video for you, a short video clip. So I'm working on that. So just kind of hang in there with me. But for now, we're just going to do it this way. Okay, let's do Marcus's quick question here. Hey, Marcus, if you're still there, can I run 12-2 Romex to a three-way switch and then run? No, you cannot do that. Here's what he's asking. He wants to run 12-3 to the three-way switch and then run 14-3 between the two switches. Here's the trouble. You have to understand how circuit breakers work and why circuit breakers, what they really do. A lot of people think that the circuit breaker in their panel is there to protect them. It only is if it's a GFCI or an AFCI. You know, the GFCI is the ground fault interrupter, and the AFCI is the arc fault circuit interrupter. Okay, regular circuit breakers, the only thing they do is they protect the wire. In other words, if you have a 20 amp circuit breaker and you have it connected to 12 gauge wire, which is what you're supposed to do, then if all of a sudden the circuit breaker senses that more than 20 amps is going through that circuit breaker, it goes, nope, we're done, and it shuts it off. If you know it senses an overload like a dead short, which sends a huge surge of electric through the breaker, so it shuts it off. Because if you don't do this, what will happen is the wire will get so hot. I mean, it can get red hot, cherry red hot, melt the insulation, immediately start the insulation on fire. And then, you know, the rest of the story. You know, the trucks with the red lights show up, they squirt water on the house. And then if things are really bad, they carry things out of the house in big bags. All right. So we don't want that. All right. So the answer is don't be mixing wire sizes on a circuit. All right. So you can have different wire sizes in your home. You can have a 20 amp breaker that goes to a kitchen or a bathroom, and it's going to have 12 gauge wire on it. So don't intermix wires on a circuit. That's simple. That's the answer to the question. All right. No worries. You're welcome, Marcus. You can get all this information, by the way, on my Ask the Builder website. It's all there. I've written extensively about wire sizes, circuit breakers. Got a lot of videos there about it. So, and don't ever even think about taking a chance, because it's really serious stuff. There are people in America that die every day. I'm serious. They die every day because of electrical fires caused by, you know, people who've done bad things when they wire things up, or they don't know any better. There's an old saying, you don't know what you don't know. Jane asked me a question this morning. Jane's a subscriber to my free newsletter. If you don't get my free newsletter, if you're watching, if you don't get the newsletter, I highly recommend it. It's free. And I send it out every Sunday. And I have a lot of fun writing the newsletter. You'll see that right away as soon as you get it. It's a completely different writing style than my columns. So that's one of the reasons I really enjoy doing it. Jane asked me about gutter covers because I had talked a little bit in the newsletter today about why I don't ever have to clean up my gutters, because I have fantastic micro mesh gutter covers on my gutters here in New Hampshire. I started testing out gutter guards probably 18, 20 years ago would be my guess. And I quickly discovered that the micro mesh gutter guards were the best. All the other ones failed. It's all on my website. Go watch the videos. Just type in gutter guards at askthebuilder.com. You'll see it. Jane, though, has got a problem. Jane, the reason you've got a problem is because you have the old-fashioned, what we used to call in Cincinnati, box gutters. And these are gutters that are actually built into the roof framing. They were very popular back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. A lot of houses around America in the older parts of the cities have these box gutters. So the carpenters would actually frame a channel down at the bottom of the roof. It would have a slope to it. And then a tinsmith would come and he would take tin-coated steel and form it and bend it and make interlocking joints like this, where, one piece, it's hard to do. One piece was bent at 180 this way, and this one was bent this way, bring them together. And then I'm trying to twist my hands so that you can see that. And then he'd hammer that flat and solder it. So believe me, if you kept the gutters painted, which a lot of people did not, because, the old saying, out of sight, out of mind. But if you kept that tin-plated steel painted, it would still be good today. I mean, it's just amazing material. The trouble with your gutters, though, Jane's going to be really tough to do it. You're going to have to custom make your own gutter guards. That's all I can tell you. You can try to find some fine aluminum screening to do it with. The big issue you're going to have is trying over that giant open area, because I know how big it's going to be. That material is going to want to droop, get like a little belly in it, and that's a problem. It's not going to be easy to solve your problem, unfortunately. So I know that's not what you didn't want to hear, but I'm a tough love guy, as a lot of my old girlfriends used to tell me. Oh, man. All right. Does the pitch here, Steven's got a question. Does the pitch of the roof affect the gutter guard? Well, yes, in a way. If you want gutter guards to work properly, the actual surface of the gutter guard has to be in the same plane as the roof. So you don't want the roof, trying to do this, it's really kind of hard looking backwards. You don't want the roof coming down like this and then the gutter guard to be flat, across the top of the gutter, because all that happens is the gutter guard just becomes a shelf, like your countertop in your kitchen, all right, or a countertop in the laundry room that collects this mountain of clothes all the time. So you might have to lower your gutter so that the outer tip of the gutter, would be in a straight line if you put a straight edge on the roofing shingles. So that's what you want. So if you were to put a level or a straight edge on the roof, as you slide it down the roof, the tip of the gutter would just touch the edge of the gutter guard, or of the straight edge. So that's what you have to do, Stephen. Yeah, there. Somebody else, computer help guy, answered Marcus. That's great. Exactly. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Jane, thanks for the tough love. Jane, that's not what all my girlfriends would say. Some of them were a little upset. Oh, well. Hey, and believe me, I've been kicked to the curb too, so I know what it's like. All right. So let's go. Let's move on. Tori, this is a really interesting one. Tori lives in Washington, D.C. She emailed me, and poor Tori, boy, does she have a problem. God only knows what she paid for this condominium, because Washington, D.C., some of the most expensive real estate in the United States. Tori buys this condominium. She moves in. There's like 10, I don't know, it might be a tall building. She just said there's 10 units above her. All right. 10 units. Every time someone in one of those other units flushes the toilet, Tori hears it. It's like a Niagara Falls inside her wall. All right. It's because the builder used PVC piping, which I'm sure is code approved, there in, uh, yes, I am a tough love guy. um, anyway, I'm sorry. It's easy to get flustered here when people send you messages. So anyway, PVC, it's a code approved product. All right. So I used it in a lot of my projects. The trouble with PVC though is it vibrates very easily, so that when you have 1.6 gallons of water tumbling down this pipe, it's crashing against the sidewalls of the pipe and it vibrates it like a drum and it sounds horrible. Some builders try to wrap insulation around the pipe. That works to a slight degree. The best solution is if you're building a new home and you've got bathrooms on a floor above you, as you want to put cast iron in that vertical stack on the first floor. You can intermix cast iron with PVC. A 10-foot length of cast iron might cost less than $100, all right? And they have adapters and you will not have that noise. Obviously, if the toilet piping runs across the ceiling and then jumps down a wall, you would want to tell your plumber to also put that horizontal pipe as cast iron. But all the vent pipe, all the other pipe in the project, it can all be PVC so that you save money. But Tori, you do have a choice. You could have your condo. You might have to pay for this. I don't know that they're going to do it for free, but you can tear into that wall and you can replace that PVC stack with cast iron, and your troubles are going to go away immediately. So that's the good news, but it might cost you $2,000-3,000, So, but I would think that you could complain to the condo association and they might help you out with that. Lots of chats. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Fans, how's your day going? It's going great. I'm having a great time on these live chats. We were only going to do it for about another 12 minutes, so I want to get to everything as fast as I can. Jay Patel, hello from a new subscriber. Any thoughts or concern on installing solar panels on the roof? My roof is 20 years old, but I will need new shingles. I don't really have a problem with installing solar panels on a roof. It really just becomes a matter of creating a J. Just imagine the letter J. Well, I'll just draw it, J, just up like that. So this long leg of the J would have holes in it, and it gets nailed to the roof or screwed to the roof up underneath the shingles. And then that lower part of the J and the hook kind of sits up above the roof, and then the solar panels are attached to that. If you do it that way, it's really no different than a plumbing vent flashing or a pot vent, air ventilation flashing. You'll never, ever have trouble. Believe me, the solar panel people have figured this out. My recommendation is always this: is go to the solar panel manufacturer, get a hold of the installation instructions, read them yourself, see what they say about how those brackets are put in so that it's leak proof. And then you need to make sure that you have that conversation with the installer. So, because they might send out some 17 or 18-year-old kid who's never done it before. You wouldn't be the first person that's happened to. All right, David Wallace. Dave, thanks for the tip on gutter cleaning today. Yep, contacted blah, blah, blah. And our comment, good for you. We don't want you to make sure that Ned has got workman's comp insurance. That's all I can tell you. We don't need you up on the roof and ending up in the emergency room. I know people who have been hurt. I've actually had subscribers tell me their spouses have died from ladder falls cleaning gutters. So those are painful emails to read, let me tell you. I got a really interesting email from a subscriber this morning before the live stream. And this is another great teaching moment. And you might not like that. I mean, you may not like these things that are hard to do, but his name is Jack. And what Jack asked me, it was a great question. Jack wanted to know, he said, He just said, can I install composite decking on top of treated lumber? All right. So you know what? I mean, I can understand why someone might think they could do that. I mean, seriously, it's like, okay, what's the harm? What could go wrong? I mean, seriously. All right. So here's the answer. Here's what I sent back to him. And I'm pretty sure he's going to think it was a kind of a snarky answer, but I didn't intend it that way. So this is a piece of advice that I beg for you to always remember. Please remember this. If you have a question about how a product should be installed, don't ask me. And don't ask anybody on the internet about it. Don't ask anybody at Home Depot or Lowe's about it. All right. Is this making sense? Don't ask anybody about it except one person. One. You know who that is? Of course you do. The manufacturer, the person that is going to make out the check to you or send you a new product when the warranty, fails, when it fails under warranty. All right. So don't ask questions about installation to people who don't back the warranty. And that's basically what I sent back to him. So I know it's hard. And believe me, I've gone to manufacturers' websites and tested them and sent them a question via their customer service portal, and they don't get back with you. And that's another lesson, by the way. If you work for a company, this happened to me just last week. I went to make an appointment for an eye evaluation for cataracts. All right. The appointment is Thursday. But I thought, okay, I'm a tech guy. So I went to their website. You could fill out a form. And they said, how do you want to be contacted? Email or text or both? So I said both. I gave them my email address, gave them my phone number. I didn't hear anything back that afternoon. I didn't hear anything back the next morning. So finally at 2:00, I called them. Talk to this nice woman on the phone, and I go, I want to make an appointment, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, by the way, I said, I think your website might be broken. She goes, why? I go, well, because I filled out a form yesterday and I never heard back. And she said, oh, let me look. And you hear click, 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 click as she's hitting the keyboard. Oh, yeah, there you are. Are you kidding me? So, well, of course, that's a whole nother story on another day. We're almost running out of time. There's a thing up here in New Hampshire. It's called New Hampshire time. All right. So New Hampshire time, from what I've understood living here 13 years, is a lot like time in Jamaica. So there's a word down in Jamaica and maybe the whole Caribbean, mañana. All right. So mañana means another time. It means like if you ask somebody, when are you going to come and fix my roof? And they answer mañana. It just means, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know when, maybe a year from now. So anyway, can you tell I'm having fun on these live streams? So anyway, you just have to ask the questions to the manufacturer. And the point of that story about the eye appointment was, if you work for a company and you have a form like that on your website, you have to make sure that someone is answering those questions, and preferably within an hour or two, not a day or 2 or 5 later. I mean, come on. Those are potential customers. That's money, so it's goodwill, because what happens is people like me will then do what I did in my newsletter this past week, where I talked about how this other website would not answer me. I raked them over the coals. All right. So that can happen out there. So anyway, all right. We've got a little bit more time left, about 5 minutes. We've got a lot of questions here. David Peters. Our asphalt driveway has a turnaround. It is not quite wide enough. Don't want to have more asphalt for a foot along the side. Use stone or asphalt patch. No, you cannot use stone or asphalt patch. All I would do, David, is I would just dig down where you want to widen the driveway and just put in compacted crushed gravel. That's all you have to do. It's really that simple. I have columns on the website. Go to askthebuilder.com, type in gravel driveway. Just type gravel driveway into the search engine and read that column, or there's like 2 or 3 of them. I've even done a video, I think, on it. So That's how I would do it. The material that comes in those bags from the home centers, um, it's even if you put it down, you still have to put it on compacted base, and make sure you put down at least 8 inches. So it's and it's a wonderful material. That's what I would do. Just crush gravel. I have a strip of it. I wish I could turn the camera here and show you. I have a strip about 18 inches wide on my own driveway here in New Hampshire. Here, Marcus is back. Contractor told me to install 20 amp breaker and run number 10 for long. The contractor, hey, Marcus, don't use that contractor anymore. All right. You cannot be mixing wire sizes with circuit breakers. All right. Just go read my column on my website, Marcus, about circuit breakers. Read all of them. And like I said, never mix wire sizes on a circuit. If you're going to run 12 gauge wire for an entire circuit, that's fine. But all of the branches, anything branching off that original line coming out of the panel, all has to be 12 gauge wire. Okay. And then you put a 20 amp breaker on it. If you want to run 14 gauge wire to a circuit, to a bedroom, fine. It's going to be a 15 amp breaker. All right. Just go to the website, read all of my circuit breaker columns. All right, Jim, New Hampshire time, love it. Worst are those that text you to confirm an appointment, email you, and robocall. And yeah, exactly. 73, Jim, by the way, another ham radio operator. Okay, exactly. Never mix wire size, Marcus. Do not do it. I mean, you're just going to cause somebody to burn up. All right. I mean, you're just, I'm telling you, it's serious stuff. Very, very serious stuff. Don't believe me? Don't believe me about electrical fires? Stop in your local firehouse. Talk to the captain. Talk to the fire captain, the guy that's got 20 years experience. He's the guy that rides in the passenger seat of the truck on its way to a fire. Ask him about how many electrical fires he's been on. All right. That's where you'll get a sobering account of why this is all so important. All right. I want to end today's live stream. Thank you so much for being here. Here's what I would love for you to do, if you can, if you'd be kind enough. Would you please go back to my website, askthebuilder.com, and there's an Ask Tim button. And that's where you can send me a question or a comment. I would love to hear from you what you would like to hear or see on future live streams. I mean, help me build this out. Become part of it. I want your participation. I want to do the things that will help save you time and money. It's really that simple. So I don't want to be this boring person that you just say, I'm done with you. All right. That's I've already had that happen to me. Too many people have done that. All right. I'm not going to mention all those girls' names. All right. So I'm saying all this because I'm writing a book for my youngest daughter, and I'm just about ready to start the chapter in the book about all my old high school girlfriends. So it's really going to be a fun chapter to write. It really is. So anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. And I'm going to be doing another live stream tomorrow on Monday. And I don't know yet what we're going to do. It'll probably be in the afternoon, but I want to hear from you. So go to the Ask Tim page at askthebuilder.com and just let me know what I can do to make these better. And as I said, if you just happen to join in, I'm going to start to get software that will allow me to run these things a lot like a Zoom call, where I can do screen sharing, where I can show you photos and you stop seeing my face. So that, because the more photos I can show you to help explain something, the better it's going to be for all of us. Okay. I get that. So you have to be patient with me. It's simple as that. So thanks so much for tuning in. Oh, remember today's sponsor, Stain Solver. It's a great product. And when you buy this little sample size, just go to stainsolver.com. This is a certified organic oxygen bleach. So you mix it with water. It washes anything that's water washable. When you get that little sample size, you get this cool little card that's got secret tips on it from me. So the only people who get this card are the people who get the sample size. So thanks so much for tuning in. I really, really had a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with these live streams, I can tell you right now. And I think I'm going to be laughing a lot. So thanks a lot. And once again, go to the Ask Tim page at askthebuilder.com. Let me know what I can do to make it better, so that you find them more engaging. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. Oh, Any opinion on Aquafault? I don't even know what Aquafault is, D5X5, but I'm going to look it up for you. We may talk about it on the next live stream. I'm Tim Carter for AskTheBuilder.com. Thanks so much for tuning in.